Being one of my chosen people isn't exactly a walk in the park. I expect you to follow a few rules. And if you don't, then I'm really not going to like you. My most important law pretty much goes without saying, but I'll point it out anyways. Don't mate different kinds of cattle. Very few things annoy me more than interracial cows. Let me preface the next rule by telling you a little about myself and my history. For starters, I'm a pretty emotional guy. Some might even call me insane. By the way, if you ever call me that, I'll send 10 plagues and 77 aftershocks right into your colon. If, say, my toaster doesn't work, I'm liable to pretty much lose it. If my favorite TV show is cancelled, I might destroy an entire network. Take that, Dumont. Whenever I watch Beaches, I'm in tears by the opening credits. And when I heard the one about the rabbi and the priest, I laughed so hard that Manischewitz came out of my nose. And of all my emotions, one stands out more than the others. Jealousy. You can't even begin to imagine how jealous I am. When I heard rumors that the angel Billy was converting to atheism, I contemplated committing a murder-suicide, which, oddly enough, would have made that godless bastard right, although he would have been too dead to know it. Now, back in the really old days, when I was running one of my former universes, I designated a group known as the Sedalarsi as my chosen people. I gave them land, laws, protection, holidays, the works. Then one day, I saw a few of them worshipping another god, and that was it. I flew into a mad Yahwedic Yah rage, and the next thing I knew, their entire universe was gone. So what's the moral of this story? Do not worship any other gods, especially that rat bastard Baal. I don't care if your best friend, Madonna, Tom Cruise, Kirk Cameron, and the Dalai Lama are all telling you how hip their god is, or even if that god personally comes down there and hands you a suitcase full of cash. It's all about me, and only me. And I expect you to do more than just worship me. I want you to love me using all your strength, all your heart, all your soul, and 3% of your unblemished lambs. Alright? Okay. Moving on. Do not misuse my holy name. You know what? Just forget my holy name, period. From now on, refer to me as God. James God. And that pretty much wraps it up. Just kidding. There's a bit more. For starters, honor your mother and father. And yes, I really mean that. I don't care if your parents are Joe Jackson and Joe Crawford. I want you to pretty much do whatever they tell you to do. Unless, of course, they tell you to worship other gods, in which case you should choke them with wire hangers and or throw stones at their heads. Let's see. What's next? Don't work on my holy day. And when I say work, I mean anything and everything resembling work. No sewing, cooking, writing, shaving, channel changing, jar opening, toilet flushing, or time traveling. I don't even want you to stand up quickly, light fires, listen to Light My Fire, organize your wallet, hold in your burps, sing I've Been Working on the Railroad, or play Paperboy on Nintendo. And keep my other holy holidays. Blow into a ram's horn on New Year's Day, humble your soul on the Day of Atonement, watch the Ten Commandments during Passover, or Jingle All the Way if you're a Reform Jew, watch Gilligan's Island during Sukkot, make a pilgrimage to Pico and Robertson on Columbus Day, add Gentile blood to all of your baked goods on Iron Day, and for God's sake, don't give gifts on Hanukkah like a bunch of pagans. Don't kill, unless of course there are a bunch of Canaanites minding their own business on your promised land. And if that ever happens, I want you to kill, and then kill some more. Don't steal, unless of course you come across some Indians living on a new continent. Don't even pay them $24 for Manhattan. Just take it. Don't commit adultery, unless of course your spouse is going out of his or her way to piss you off. Don't lie, unless of course you're lying about the adultery you committed. And don't covet your neighbor's wife, home, land, slaves, servants, animals, Pokemon cards, toilet plungers, chest hair, unless you live next to Tom Selleck, mustache, unless you live next to Tom Selleck, license to kill, or limited edition Elvis Yarmulke. You can, however, covet his Shiksa Mistress and his 4.37% APR fixed loan. Okay, this next one is gonna sound a little weird, but just keep in mind that what's weird for you guys might be perfectly normal up here. Circumcise your males as a sign of our covenant. Which brings us to our next rule. Wear clear pants and underwear at all times. I want you to remember our covenant as often as possible, and not just when you're taking a piss. And in order to complete the look, grow a really long mullet, a really light mustache, and, if possible, shave a Jewish star into your ankle hair. Oh, and don't cross-dress. Men should dress like Clint Eastwood in The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and women should dress like that robot on Small Wonder. Actually, women should wear wigs, and wigs on top of their wigs. On second thought, I want women to cover every square inch of their bodies with black cloth, leaving the smallest of holes for their eyes, and covering those holes with a layer of tinted plastic. Reformed Jews, however, don't have to wear any underwear underneath. Don't marry non-Jews. I hate interfaith couples more than I hate interracial cows. Don't boil a goat in its mother's milk. I'm very serious about this one. In fact, just to be safe, let's make it don't boil a goat in any other goat's milk. You know what? Just to be really safe, let's make it don't eat any meat or dairy foods within 6 hours of each other. You know what? Just to be really safe, avoid meat during odd-numbered years and dairy during even-numbered years. Don't have sex with animals. Although, I'm not real strict about this one. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, doing an animal really isn't that big of a deal. Provided, of course, that the animal has split cud and chews its hooves. Or is that has split hooves and chews its cud? Just don't screw any pigs, dogs, or elephants. And if you're gonna have sex with an animal, be careful not to draw any blood. That pretty much wraps it up. Just kidding. Don't pick up a soda can with your left hand. Don't watch more than 4 episodes of Walker, Texas Ranger in one day. Don't wear brown shoes with purple socks. Always wear purple shoes with brown socks. Plant as many trees as possible in Israel. Open as many kosher Chinese food restaurants as possible in New York. If you're going to see a Mel Gibson movie, be sure to buy a ticket to another film in the Cineplex. Build a Rupert Murdoch cyborg in the 20th century and use him to secretly control the media. Don't name your children after Bible characters. Don't run around the Duck Duck Goose circle counterclockwise. Don't listen to Tupac while wearing a Biggie t-shirt. Don't weigh yourself more than twice a week. All Bible-themed video games must have something to do with Onan. If you ever happen to rape a virgin, you'll have to marry her and buy her mother a Mercedes. Don't flush your toilet for number ones on Earth Day. Add our 11 secret herbs and spices to your chicken soup and gefilte fish dishes. Feel free to skip past Numbers, 1 Chronicles 1 through 10, and 2 Vishnu 5 through 40. Don't call Dionne Warwick or her friends. Bet on the Dodgers to win it all in 1963 and 2197. Thou shalt stop using the King James Bible by 1902.